Good morning. It's the crypto day morning. Today's date, well, that comes in that of the 10th of March, 2019. All bets and trades. Well, that is within each's own risk and their own reward. Within the Bitcoin price, we can see in yesterday's session the price got above the 18 average of highs, a straight flattening one. 18 average, it's barely rising, but we got higher lows in here. We're also starting to get a higher high yesterday. The price action needs to most certainly get above into the more higher 3,900 areas for this thing to start to at least get going to the upside. And that's really what it needs as far as price action to state, okay, yeah, this the statement looks like it's a valid statement or an aggressive one, meaning they're actually now attempting to do what they say they're going to do, which is thus resume the uptrend and have another leg higher, breaking 40, well, really 41 high, but this clear resistance level. If not, we still remain in this correctionary move from this high to this low, which has to break it to one side or another. Until it does, it's neutral within its range, and the range, of course, around 3,700 up to where we stand right now on the upper end within it. So until that's the case, just not going to go over too much more, although, again, within what has been going on in this correctionary move, this was an attempt to go higher. There were two attempts to go lower. This pierced below here, but it obviously came back relatively quickly. So as it was breaking below on February 27th, got down below 3708. Okay, this thing looks as if it's ready to break down. And 3674, ready to break down, coming back up. Oh, area short term would be at the time level of resistance. Okay, and then as you're seeing that, okay, false move type thing. That's like the false alarm or the fire alarm kind of deal. And then the attempt in here to break down. And it spent some time at this 37 intraday, I remember a little bit, but obviously regaining a little quickly. Okay, another failed attempt. And now it's barely thinking, you're saying, because when you see this big candle going down, oh, and even a decent amount, it's not a scream, but you can actually hear that. Oh yeah, we're going down. The bears would be saying, oh, okay, good luck with your leg lower and all the things you need to do. And okay, and this one, okay, you failed. But don't. Okay, it's okay. I mean, you haven't lost yet. Just rebound. Okay, you're trying again, and okay, you failed, and okay, you can try again, and it hasn't tried again. And in here, it is whispered, if you will, that it wants to break out. So barely have heard it. If it doesn't go down further, this is not a breakout. It's a test of this resistance. It's a pierce above. And I'm looking at support at the 18 average of lows right now at 37.79, which represents a pierce below this level of resistance. Theta is next. And we'll start off by looking at this within the everything on the daily, just a lot of periods. I'm not really focused too much on the 18 other than I can clearly see that it lifted off from here. I got these lines in here. Are they any good anymore? I mean, I guess technically, not really, no. That's Fibonacci. And Fibonacci is great, but it's retracement from, well, this high to this low, and, well, it's already broken above it. And when you see in technical analysis, it makes this high and a severe price decline. And then it goes sideways for a very good duration of time. And this quick rally that happened so fast on November 30th. Pulling back really fast. Not as fast as it went up, but still fast enough. After all, markets go up faster than they'll go down. Although in this case here, I'm curious now that I say that. This one broke down here, we'll say on June the 4th. And it reached 1200 on August the 13th. So a little over 2 months. From the point it broke out here on January 20th, it took a little over 5 weeks. Yeah, a little faster going up that way. But within the cryptos, it's opposite of the way stock markets go. After all, when stocks go up, unless the stock has one amazing fundamental news event that's like like a once in a lifetime or just once in a blue moon. That's what I was looking for. Once in a blue moon event. It's not going to have any major significant moves really fast, unless you get this mind-boggling short-term news that affects it. And again, once in a blue moon. Within cryptos, those moves higher happen 174 times in a blue moon. And I'm just saying in some sort of whichever way I can that it just happens all the time with these coins that it's going to go up fast. Just to think it stopped, I don't. I got a resistance target in here that's significantly higher than the 5,000 level it came near in the current 45. But the statement here is, oh, I just broke above this level of major resistance at around 3,600 to 4,000. I mean, a clear break above it would be like 43, 44, and so be it there. It's a major clear break. And when we look at this as far as just going back to reversal of trend, and here you had resistance established to resume the trend really, or well, yeah, pretty much, because in here you would be saying, okay, I want resistance established, higher, high. Oh wow, way up here. I mean, can you count that? No, that's too high. Like I stated with this, the three little pigs. It's got to be just right. It can't be up too much. Can't be up too little. And this is by far up too much. When you're just trying to get analysis for things, when you're trying to put big sell orders, up too much is amazing. So I really can't count that. It was like a false move. Although, okay, can you count this one? Not decent. To me, I think when you have a situation, if it goes up and down like that, you almost got to redo it as it is anyway. So I'd be looking more for that 17 and a third. And there we have the unclear break above it. It didn't hold and stay above it, but it definitely more clarified that area even further. And there we have it. There's a break, 1850, and there's the move. But when it had this level of resistance here, it was supposed to stop going up near 4,000, and it did. But how long did it stop going up for? Well, counting this day on the 28th, which will just, well, today's the 10th, so like 10 days, correcting through time. And that's why in trading, it's a parlay game. And what I mean by a parlay, which means, at least in sports betting, that's where you need to get at least multiple events right to win. 2 or more. So you need one thing to happen, then another thing to happen. Therefore, if you're playing a lottery where you want to win, that's a parlay. If you got to get 6 numbers right, you first got to get the first number that comes out. If correct, then you got to get the second one, and so on and so forth. And here, you first got to be right that this is a level of resistance. Check mark. Resistance to me is defined as stop going higher, thus correcting through that via price and or time. The second stage of the parlay, well, that would be making sure you get your buyback. Now, if you're looking to buy back at 3,000 or 31, check mark. But for me, it was near, because my highest buy order was 26 low change. It didn't break down below the support. It established the support on March 4th. Lower high this move. But there's nothing wrong with the lower high within this big volatility. That's just a sign of a little bit of lower volatility as well. But we do see the higher low from the lower high. And the break of this level here. And when you break key levels, you get the really fast moves. That's how it works. We can see in here that what was the market doing at this time at 33.5? I was cruising in at the 18 highs. I mean, that doesn't mean much. It means, okay, maybe we might have a little break. And level of resistance is just a possible one. And when you're talking short term, extremely short term, and something big happens on the longer term, bigger green candles and red candles on the daily and all that, and weekly, then these things are going to go really wild. So you get the next period, and there you go, a move. Obviously, a move of this magnitude should always come on big volume. So that should just go without saying, because in order to buy it up that much, it requires that much volume in just the pure mathematical level. So a major statement was made here. And how did it follow through? It followed through with more major volatility. And this was a 6% move on the hour. This had volatility, a low of 34 and a third, or 3/10, and a high of 36.5, a 220 differential. That's like 7% just that hour. But that was just that hour, because this hour it was up 20% and a bit more higher on that volatility. And then just what, like I say, when these things go, they go. And what's that big level of resistance? Yeah, it was around 3,600. So you see, as it was rallying up to that resistance level at here with this move at 1,800 hours. Oh, it hang on there. We have some sideways moves amongst similar volatility. This volatility goes up, and look at the size of these following moves, every single one, this one included, compared to these ones in here. After all, before, that was a big statement. These 4 periods were much more superior than every single one that was prior to it, including this one here. Although this one has a nominal, or if this one definitely has an entry to say its biggest one here, which we can might as well count the volatility. 3,400 high appears above and 3,172 low. That's like a little over 230 basis points. Yeah, so about 7% again. This period here, a low of 34.5, a high of 35.5. That's volatility of 3%. Okay, maybe a little lower, but still good volatility continuously, and of course getting bigger now because this current one has got a low of 43.25, a high of 45 high. That's a differential of about 260, and that's about 7%, 6-7%. But as it's playing, establishes high 4,728, pull back the next period 4,128, exactly 600 points. That's about 16%. And then barely make it a higher high. And that barely number was 4,900. And 4,900 retracing back down to 4,268. Again, another 15 or so percent retracement. And this is barely higher than this. I figured, as I was saying before within this, on a break of that level, I don't like selling really anything in the 4,000s. We'll see, I could be wrong. I'm definitely right about like 42 and 43, because when these things break key levels, they're just going to keep going. So I haven't sold anything on this. I haven't traded this since, well, its first break, just its first last move to 36, which is at the end of last month. I have my sell order significantly higher than this. And probably it's a good idea for me just to check its exact number. And I got 54.95. You know, that's a 600, that's a 15 point, yeah, that's staying. I'm not changing that. But it sure looks as if it's going to happen right now. I do like on the single hour how it is breaking out from there. And with the size of these 5-minute candles, I mean, you could be an insomniac and just be day trading this consistently since this break has happened. And all these moves, it meant buying maybe a little bit down there. And then what else would have happened? There would have been a little bit of selling when it went up there, but buying down here. I mean, 32.50, that was so low. Actually, I'm actually going too far. This is March 8th. Okay, well, actually, while we're here, we can still do that because this is 2 days ago. Now this is yesterday. A little bit of this move in here, but maybe you're not day trading it because it's not doing too much. And then we see how the market was going down. And there you go. You start to notice, hey, wait a second, things are getting active. Having resistance here at 36. But you didn't want to sell. I mean, that's just a move to previous high. But now you see things are going well. See, one of my theories here is this. And I can just go past data to see how to play it. You see a market like this, especially here, 4,100. Once it gets really overextended, start selling. and just start day trading this. So you put you sell maybe this and you put two buy orders in. You do it like a double sale. Maybe you put a buy order in at 3,900. Maybe put one in around 3,600 or something. Put some sell orders in. Maybe you sell up there. You're selling in this little area. You're not buying. If you sold up here, maybe you were buying on this low. And then you just keep on going. And if you buy here, you sell at previous high. There's your sell fill. And then it's going down. We'll see. Maybe you get your buy at 42. Maybe you don't. And well, just all that type of fun stuff. But actually, I wanted to do it on the 1 minute time frame. I'm not going to do it anymore. And this thing is starting to lag on a little bit as we're at the 15-minute mark. So I just want to finish off with the last point that I wanted to go over here. Okay, so we're having this major break above it. It's well overextended on the weekly time frame as well. But just because it's well overextended doesn't mean it's not going to stop going up. As long as there's people willing to buy at the supply that is being offered at these current prices, and right now that's the case, then price can only go higher. So let's try to find a price objective level. So I'm looking for an uptrend with a price correction that makes a higher low. It's better to probably use a Huobi chart for this example, so let's switch charts. And interestingly enough, what would be the price? It's 4702 here. Excuse me, 4702 here. What would be the price here? 46.95. It's 43.17. Arbitrage right now, if you have it. If you can just sell on Binance, buy here. Now, it's a 28 transfer fee, so it's an expensive venture, but if you got a good enough volume, it's still profitable. But within these price differentials, we did have this original high here, which meant right off the bat, somebody really, really wanted to buy their Theta. And they got it. Whether they were reason for any of the selling, I don't care. But the Fibonacci that I want to do, I see this uptrend here that comes down to this low. I've already calculated some Fibonacci. I'm using a low of 982 Satoshi, which would represent the lows in here. And then this high happens to be 4,031, but the Binance one was 4,048. Up target 9,714. Usually they pierce extra. I would not be surprised if this thing makes it to 10,000 Satoshi within the week, the month, and, well, I'm not going to say most certainly the year, but this next move to be so, because this could be a top that we don't break again for 16 months. I'm not saying it will. It's most certainly not the favorite to be so. But as far as this move is concerned and the statement that it's making, well, it sure looks like it's got the capabilities of doing that. And that's just a 161.8% level. I have 4 levels of Fibonacci, and it's really interesting how I rate its difficulty level of each one. The first one, the 161, the one I calculate at the 10K mark, is, I mean, it's easy, but it's not, it's still a little bit of a challenge to get to it. But the mathematical number after that would be taking the answer to this, which would be a little over 4. You could definitely work with 4. And then to the root of 2.618, then multiply the low of that 1,000. That would be the next one. And that's a really difficult challenge. That one, the first one is like easy, but definitely failable. The second one is very hard, but most certainly, definitely passable on a few times. So the calculation for that number, and I'm going to have to use a spreadsheet, which sucks, because I don't have an XY button on here. I have an X2. but not in X, Y. And I don't understand that, but how I get the Fibonacci numbers. I mean, Fibonacci is 61. That's a 68. 61.8% retracement. If I 1x it, then I get that. And the next one, I can just do it more like the 2 3s. It doesn't matter. If I multiply it by itself, I get this, which is 38.2%. If I 1x that number, I get a 2.618. The next one will be 4.23. But we'll do 61.8 again. There's your 38.2. There's your 23.6. And I 1x, and I get, well, 4.23. Or 4, I think it's that. Yeah. Rounded up, whatever. So therefore, we have a theta low of, let's even use the even numbers in this example. So therefore, what's the, well, we already calculated it here. But I'm just going to use, the differential is 4. And then I'm going to put it to the exponent of this number, multiply 1,000. And this will be around the 10 number, 9423. So the very difficult one to get to, most certainly beatable, because it does happen frequently enough, but an extreme challenge to get to, would be a price objective of 37,000 Satoshi. So therefore, the long-term level of 10,000 is not resistance. 10,000, 15,000 even, 16. I mean, 16 appears above 10 in this book. If that area is not resistance, we're probably going to go closer to 40. I don't think I've ever seen the next Fibonacci above this ever. I don't think I've ever seen, I never in my life have I ever remember seeing this number get hit and then beaten to the next one. So, I mean, I've seen it reach it, but always hit as resistance. I mean, just reaching it is a challenge. Beating the resistance is an extreme one. I'm going to format the cell so I can see this a bit better. We've got the 1,000 separator. We don't need decimals on here. Okay. I didn't get my 1,000 separators on there. I can see why, because I copied and pasted it over. 2/5 of a million, 400,000 Satoshi. It's going to usually pierce extra. We'll go 350 because that's pretty much exact number. So long term, its next price objectives is 10,000 Satoshi, close to 40,000, and probably under 400,000. Just ballpark mathematical levels. And the only reason they're ballpark is because I use the Fibonacci of a 4,000 and 1,000, and not the exact numbers. But it's all ballpark area to begin with anyway. Thank you for tuning in and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye. Yeah, and by the way, I didn't talk about the correctionary moves. And yeah, I guess it's a good time to talk about it. Key low, key high. I mean, multiple hit low here at that 1,000 mark. So we'll use 1,000. Right now, the high, well, I got to use the 5,000, but what's going on with 4276 here? Are these wallets even open? Because if this is the case, there could be arbitrage city for hours, and that doesn't happen too often. I mean, yeah, arbitrage city is still available. As it plays out within these levels, and I only would think you're just going to have to readjust this anyway. Where do I put buy orders in? Well, let's do Fibonacci. 1,000's a low. Right now, 5,000's a high. As the high increases, just do the recalculations. 1,000 to 56 to 64, and so on. And so be it. Key numbers right now are 2784 and 1849. Even 34. Definitely 3420. So maybe you put your buy orders there. But again, you expect only to increase this level right now At least that's the major probability. I believe that the bulls are doing well. Now that I'm at it here, let's take a look at this. So this high again, 47, 28, and 49. And what was this low? This was 41, 28. Oh, wow. Holy crap. This might be the better place to trade it on the whole. Wow, 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 wow. High here of 44.16. I mean, it hasn't even broken it on this move yet. What the heck happened there? I guess that would have been the move. I mean, did somebody just get so excited that they were profiting so much that they were big holders and they're like, yeah, I'm just going to sell it, and they literally sold it down. Now, what was the percentage? Okay, no, this is Huobi. I shouldn't say that, although don't know what they do, because I thought that Binance was pretty much the exact same. Because it's interesting. Theta is the reason why I got into Huobi. And I'm like, okay, let's get it. I wasn't too big of a fan of the trading platform. Although I thought it was pretty okay, though. But there's just a couple of things I didn't like. I can't remember offhand. Although this price action I like. Because if I'm on here trading this on a short-term level, sell order 39.62 fell. 41.24 or 42, and I know you'd be not knowing what's going on in Binance. We'll just throw that aside. But okay, so 43. I'm going to put my buy order in at 4,000. This one I'm putting my buy order at 38.80. I'll put another one in here at 3,700. They all get filled. And then, oh, right back here, and you can sell immediately. And then all that type of stuff. It's just magnificent action overall. Yeah, anyway, I'm done now. Take care. Bye-bye.